Hi everyone, my name is Sam Smith, and this is my mini project on state crime data for Intro to Computational Thinking. So I got this data set used in the study from the collection of really great, interesting, situated data sets, or corgis, from the computer science department at Virginia Tech. The data set is a collection of data points from the Unified Crime Reporting Statistics and with the collaboration of the U.S. Department of Justice, as well as the Federal Bureau of Investigations, or the FBI. And so, as it says on my slide, in the study, only the violent crime rate for the state of Virginia between 2006 and 2012 is observed for what I was trying to accomplish. So this data set is divided into two categories: property crime and violent crime. So some examples of property crime are burglary, larceny, and motor vehicle related crime. And then some examples of violent crime are assault, murder, rape, and robbery. And so those two categories are measured by crime rate and crime total. So crime rate looks at the number of offenses per 100,000 in population, and then the crime total is the sum of all offenses for a given year. So let's take a look at the limitations for my data set. The first is that a researcher may only look at crime rates, totals, and the population. You can't really see the demographics or of the victims or of the offenders, and you can't see if the offender was charged with the crime. So I originally wanted to take a look at some of the demographics involved, but unfortunately this data set doesn't allow for that. The second limitation is that the data set only goes back to 1960 and only goes up to 2012. Luckily, I only wanted to go back as far as 2006, but I would have really liked to take a look at some more recent data. 2012 is, it's 6 years ago, so I would have liked to have taken a look and see if this trend continued, and to see if the crime rate in Virginia decreased up until present day. I know obviously that the crime rate for 2018 in the Commonwealth is not in yet, but it would have been nice to see up until maybe 2017 or even 2016. So this slide goes over the structure of my data set. On the left, you have a graphical representation, and on the right, it's a list representation. So to access the data I used in the study, I started at data, right in the first dictionary box, then went down to rates, then to violent, and then to all. The reason why I wanted to look at all is because this is more of a general look at the violent crime rate in Virginia instead of looking at a specific crime rate for a violent crime in Virginia, such as murder or rape. So my question was in regards to the state of Virginia claiming that the violent crime rate has been in a steady decline since 2006. I wanted to look at how rapidly this decrease happened and to see if there were any significant decreases between the years 2006 to 2012, and to possibly link that to any legislation passed, any tactics changed, an increase in budget on behalf of the state police department, etc. So let's take a look at the visualization. Before I get too in-depth, I just want to point out that on the x-axis, I was unable to just put the year. So the number 0 equals 2006, number 1 equals 2007, and so on. So when you're looking at this visualization, just keep that in mind. And then the violent crime rate, that's per 100,000 people. So in 2006, it's over 280 violent crimes per 100,000 people, not overall, just 280 violent crimes in that year. So by looking at this visualization, you can see that the decrease in the violent crime rate is pretty steady. However, there is a pretty big dip between the years 2008 and 2009. And so I took a look at this, and according to the report titled Crime in Virginia, which was compiled each year by the Uniform Crime Reporting Section of the State Police Department, there are a number of factors that influence or contribute to crime. So these include population density, economic stability, the effective strength of the police department, the efficiency of police agencies, and more. And so in the state of Virginia, Richmond has consistently been considered one of the most dangerous cities in the Commonwealth, along with the Hampton area. So, according to an article I found by NBC News in April of 2007, Richmond was able to slash its homicide rate by increasing police visibility, targeting drug markets, and increased citizen involvement. And because this city is the capital of the Commonwealth, these tactics have been used in other municipalities after they discovered that these tactics were in fact effective. So that, I think, would be what contributed to this large increase between the numbers 2 and 3, or 2008, 2009. So on to my answer. The decrease in violent crime rate in the state of Virginia has been generally consistent from 2006 and 2012. Like I said, because these tactics proved to be effective in Richmond, they have been adopted by other cities and other municipalities, which could lead to the steady decrease in the violent crime rate across the Commonwealth. In addition, when looking at the budget for the Office of Public Safety, the Department of Justice in the Commonwealth, specifically looking at the state police departments, the state police department has received an increase in funds from the annual budget consistently over the years between 2006 and 2012. And typically, if they can prove that they have been able to keep the violent crime rate down and to continue to decrease that violent crime rate, they're going to continue to receive more money, which is then going to, in turn, help with their efforts of keeping the violent crime rate down, which I think, that has a lot to do with why the crime rate has been in steady decline. So looking at the social impacts, I think, first and foremost, legislators could really use this data to see what's working, what isn't working, and to continue to do what is working to make sure that the violent crime rate in Virginia does continue to decrease. Of course, law enforcement agencies, specifically the state police department, I think it's helpful for them to see, again, what's working, what isn't working, to make sure that they can allocate their funds properly, to make sure that they can be as effective as they can be in order to keep the violent crime rate down in Virginia. And of course, coming from outside of the government, prospective citizens, Virginia has consistently been the third lowest violent crime rate in the United States. And that can be very valuable when trying to attract new citizens to the state of Virginia. And so, as a Hokie, I will conduct myself with honor and integrity at all times. I will not lie, cheat, or steal, nor will I accept the actions of those who do. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much, and that's it.